You just heard Till the World Ends, Britney Spears and Nicki Minaj. It's 9:08 and you're listening to AFN Casey. I'm Army Sergeant Kevin Spence, aka DJ Suspense, and I have some guests in the studio and I'm going to let them introduce themselves right now.
Hi, I'm Captain Meyer, and we're from 2CAB, and we're down here at Camp Casey doing some great things at MPRC at Nightmare Range. And I have with me Captain Welsh. She's Alpha Troop Commander from 2-6, and I'll let her tell her a little bit about herself.
Good morning. I'm Captain Welsh. I'm the commander for Alpha Troop 26 Cav. Originally from Waverly, New York, small town in upstate New York. I spent about 8 years in the military so far, and I'm married to CW4 Brent Welsh, Squadron SP.
And she's here to talk a little bit about Furious Talon, the Super 12s, and all the great things that 2CAB is doing down here.
All right, so you guys stay tuned in. We're going to get back to the music, and we'll come back on and talk a little bit later. Here's Zed and Foxes with Clarity. Jason Derulo, Want Me. It's 9:17 and you're listening to AFN. I'm Army Sergeant Kevin Spence. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm Army Sergeant Kevin Spence, and I have some special guests in the studio. And the first question I want to ask my guests is, I've been hearing a lot about Super 12s. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. Super 12s, as we're calling it, is our Table 12 gunnery. It's an advanced gunnery table incorporating the tanks, the Bradleys, infantry, scouts, engineers, artillery, mortars, and in my realm, the Kiowas, the Apaches, and the Medevac.
Wow.
Yeah, so what are you guys doing out there? Is it more operational? Is it the coin fight? What are you guys doing out there?
This has been some excellent training, transitioning from the coin fight back into the DA fight. Instead of operating directly with the ground forces like we have been doing in OAF and OIF, we're operating as a separate maneuver element, kind of back to the basics, in support of the ground forces. Battalion is coordinating us and sequencing us into the battle, along with the ground forces, the indirect fires, etc., to work on conducting the DA fight.
So what is specifically the Kiowas and Apaches doing out there?
They're using us right now as a maneuver element. So the ground forces get online, the scouts, they do their scout mission, they do a passage of forces where the tanks come forward, the Bradleys come forward. We're on station as well, helping provide cover. They'll call an IDF, we'll come in, we'll shoot while the IDF's landing, the tanks are coming forward, the Bradleys are coming forward. It's one of the best shoots I've ever done. It's phenomenal training.
So what's the importance of doing this type of exercise, and have you guys experienced this in the past?
This exercise has been invaluable, incorporating the ground elements and the aviation elements. We've been doing a lot of AGIs, air-ground integration, where we teach the ground forces our capabilities, teach them about our helicopters, what sensors we have, and how to best utilize us. And they've been teaching us about their systems, how they operate, and how we can best support them. A lot of my soldiers have been able to get into their tanks and Bradleys, and they even took me on one of the Bradley missions with them so I could see how they operate.
That's awesome.
Was that your first time being on a Bradley?
Yes, I'm 5'10", and it was rather cozy in the Bradley, so props to those guys.
So can you explain a little bit for us non-aviators what AGI is and like how you guys were implementing that?
Yes, the air-ground integration is basically how to utilize the aviation platforms with the ground platforms. We talk about the different capabilities of our aircraft and how we can support what they want to do. And they ask us questions, we ask them questions. What are you trying to accomplish? Okay, this is how we can best do that for you. So it's basically the conversation of how we can best work together. And then you see it, once we get out on the battlefield, you see it in motion and everybody's getting better, training and working with each other.
So you guys have done a lot of learning out there as well, both the maneuver forces and then the maneuver forces learning about what you guys do.
Absolutely. The first few iterations, it was rough, but now we got the skids greased and we're doing a great job out there, and it's just going. We're firing on all cylinders.
That's great.
All right, it's 9:20 right now. I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and then we're going to come back with the weather, fuel, and exchange rates. Lady Gaga married tonight. It's 9:30 right now, and you're listening to AFN Casey. I'm DJ Suspense, and I have my guest here, and I want to just jump right into it. Can you talk a little bit about Furious Talon that's happening Friday?
Yes, Furious Talon is an operation that brings all our aviation elements together in support of ground forces for our wartime mission.
So what will your soldiers be specifically doing out there? Like the ones that are not flying in the aircraft?
Oh, my crew chiefs, they're the heroes behind the scenes. They do all the work. They're the ones who fix and maintain our helicopters. They launch us. When I break everything, they come fix it, get us back in the air and back on mission.
Is there any soldiers specifically that you want to highlight, send out accolades to?
Oh, absolutely. They've been doing a phenomenal job. We've been operating split base operations. We have some people up here at Rodriguez Range and the rest back in Camp Humphreys. And our soldiers, they've been stepping up, leading maintenance, stepping up into the next position. Specifically, Specialist Barrett, Specialist Gomez stepping up as NCOs, taking charge. And Sergeant Arnett, Sergeant Cuevas, and Sergeant Azuz have been doing a great job. We also recently received some soldiers from Hawaii. They'd been on Peninsula for less than 2 weeks before we brought them forward to Rodriguez Range, and they just jumped right into it like they've been part of the team the whole time. Sergeant Ochoa, he's been so motivated, literally running from helicopter to helicopter to get us up in the air. And we recently received a 15 Juliet. They work on our weapons and avionics systems. Specialist Raymond, he's beginning to cross-train my crew chiefs to be able to work on those systems. He had everybody out doing a gun service the other day, so they've been doing a phenomenal job stepping up and really keeping us in the air. We've done about 140 flight hours since we started, shooting over 300 rockets, 13,000 rounds of 50 cal, and maintaining an 82% operational readiness rate. So they've been doing a phenomenal job making the mission happen.
So Furious Talon is kind of your guys' last event here on the peninsula. Is that correct?
Yes, last training event before we rip out with the next unit.
So what does that mean to you guys? What does it symbolize? Furious Talon is a big deal for 2CAB, so being part of that is a big deal. Are you guys excited to go back? Are you guys hard charging into Furious Talon?
We're very excited about Furious Talon. This is our last major training opportunity before we return to Hawaii and transition into a heavy ARS unit with AH-64. So this is our last big hurrah as a Kiowa unit. I only have 2 pilots that will be transitioning over to the 64s, the Apache Kiowa helicopters. So for most of us, this is our last aerial gunnery. And for all of us, this is our last major event supporting ground forces in our scout mission. So it's very bittersweet. We're really enjoying the mission and loving it, and it's kind of our last big mission.
All right, that's a good stopping point right there. We're going to get back to the music right after the break. I Can't Feel My Face weekend. It's 9:43 and you're listening to AFN KC. I'm Army Sergeant Kevin Spence and I have my guests here, and I just wanted to jump right back in because I know it's towards the end of the hour. So what part of the mission are you looking forward to?
I look forward to Furious Talon actually coalescing with all the elements working together, the Chinooks, the Blackhawks, the medevac, and the ground forces incorporated with our mission as well, just seeing it all finally come together after all the planning that we've been doing for it.
So what kind of preparation, planning, and coordination have you guys been doing? And I know this is kind of the time frame until Friday, where Friday is the day you guys will be completing your mission. So can I talk a little bit about the preparation and the planning you guys have been doing?
For the past couple weeks, we received the order, and we've been doing a lot of coordination between the elements. We have liaisons from the Chinook community, the Black Hawk, the ground forces, all coming together to synchronize and coordinate efforts to make sure we're all on the same page for the air assault mission.
What does, can you describe what specifically your aircrafts will be kind of doing out there?
As the scout element for an air assault mission, we'll generally conduct route reconnaissance to ensure the route is free of enemy for the lift aircraft to get in so they can get down safe, get the soldiers off the helicopters. We provide security as well during that time frame to neutralize any threat. Once the ground guys get on the objective, we provide anything that they need. We scout for any enemy activity. We give them heads up if we see anybody on buildings in their location. Anything that they need to operate safely, and we can help suppress and protect if needed.
Perfect. Everyone check out Furious Talon. The pictures should be up on the 2CAB Facebook page.
All right, so we're going to get back into the mix, but first we got to take a quick break. I want to see if my guests would like to do some shout-outs.
I just want to make sure that everyone checks out the 2CAB Facebook page as well as the 26CAB Facebook page for any pictures from the Super 12 and Furious Talon, so stay tuned.
I'd like to thank you all for having me here, and I'd like to give a shout-out to all of 26CAB. It's been a great deployment. Let's finish strong.